Hello, my friends. I'm going to expose one of the biggest, most destructive lies that we have all been exposed to. And it has nothing to do with politics, history, government, all that stuff out there. But everybody is impacted by it. That's why the people that we like to blame out there and be upset with, they are equally impacted by these horrible lies. We have all been born, we are all born into it. I'm going to put the link to a video I did a while ago that talks about this also. But this is something we really need to take in maybe a little bit over time because the lie is so deep that every single cell in your body, in my body, is just it's never being questioned. It's always being submerged, what's it called? It's always like giving our power away to these lies. So this is the lie, believing that there is something wrong with you, that you are doing something wrong. That's the core of all of us. I see it over and over and over in my work with my clients. I have seen it for many, many, many years in this one myself. And when just talking to people who have done a lot of deep, beautiful work on themselves, kind of at the at the bottom, or just like as a flavor or perfume, a smelly perfume, though, it's just there, it's like, oh, I have to prove myself that I'm good enough, right? So the core is I'm not good enough. There's something wrong with me. I'm doing it wrong. It's my fault. I'm unwanted. Nobody wants me. That that programming is so deeply ingrained in every single cell that we just take it for granted. I'm Danish. I was born in Denmark. And in Denmark, they have a very special flavor of that we're actually being taught in school because there was some kind of a priest or whatever living on a smaller island in Denmark who created this called the Jente law. I have talked about it here once before, I believe. But that was to help people not submit to their ego. Okay. So it goes something like, who do you think you are? Nobody cares about you. Don't believe you're better than anybody else. So very like degrading, pushing down, undermining. It's a special version of the one that we're talking about here. The bottom line is that we have accepted that lie, very destructive lie. And because of that, everything we do is colored by it. And we may not even know it because it's just this background noise that may not be very loud audibly, but it's very loud energetically. Every single cell. And then we go walk around being afraid we're doing something wrong and people don't like us, being rejected, trying to, do a lot more than we naturally should be inclined to. We're just over giving, overworking, overstretching ourselves. Why? So we will be loved and accepted for who we are. But that who doesn't exist. It's a false character in this play, on this drama play that we're all engaging in. That one doesn't even exist. That one will never be good enough. And you may have noticed this in yourself, that no matter how hard you try, no matter how much you give, no matter how loving you are, no matter how you um, suppress your own needs, and compromise yourself. Yeah, that's the word. No matter how much you compromise yourself, you will never ever feel what you want, because the one that's doing all that is separate from the divine and is trying to create something out here to be loved and to be okay and to be acknowledged. That is the deepest lie. And if you know anybody who does not have that, at least have become conscious of it. I actually have a friend who said that she knows somebody who just does not have that. I was like, wow, that's amazing. But most of us, and of course, I'm not saying that everybody has it, but I yet have to meet one person who does not have that when we just go a little deeper under the surface. The surface is what I talked about recently also. It's like a peel. It's a peel that we see life through as if it is true, as if it is who we are. So the peel or the skin that we're looking through has this flavor, this energy, this feeling or belief that I'm not good enough. There's something wrong with me. I'm unlovable. That's that peel, and we need to take it off. We need to rip it off, because once you get under that, you will realize that it is the biggest, fattest lie on the planet. I also want to just say, once it comes off, it either comes off or you tear it off. It may still be there as a flavor, but because there is now a distance, a gap between you and the peel, the skin, you can see it for what it is. It's not just fully covering your eyes that you cannot see anything other. It's like your eyes have these lenses put on. Let's say they're green lenses. So you see everything as green, right? This is the same. We see everything as I'm not good enough. They don't like me. I'm doing something wrong. It's awful. I lived with that my whole life, and I'm sure everybody else does too, more or less. And it's quite a journey to take off, those lenses from your eyes and your whole nervous system, because we have been wired to believe that. That is, as far as I can see, that is one of the most successful tricks of the matrix, to keep us identified with it, to keep us attached to it. It's not that we like those feelings, but we try to do something to prove that they're not true. But here's the thing, as long as you have these lenses on your eyes that say, I'm not good enough, something wrong with me, no matter what you do out there, it won't change, because you still look through these lenses, right? So it's not going to change. And of course, you already know what will change it, right? It's like peeling off. It's like, take the lenses off your eyes. And that's not something you just do overnight, unless you're very blessed that you might have a huge spiritual opening where you can keep it open. I had one of those many, many years ago, but I couldn't keep it open. I had too much stuff. Had too much conditioning. It was maybe, too early in the days where the density was still very dense. So even though I had a big opening and it was a big gap where this wasn't even there was just the light, the love, the beauty. But little by little, this kind of crouched in on me again. And then I had to do the work. And that's because I had to do the work. I was forced to do the work. I couldn't ignore what I had been experiencing, but that density was still very, very real, as it crowded in on me again. And it was absolutely horrible. It was like, I called it like one of the most god awful experiences I've had from going from this and then back to this. It was like going from a fully open heart into oneness, back into the mind of duality, where it was like, oh my God. So it wasn't easy. It's been a journey, and it's a journey for all of us. I really feel that self-love to who we truly are has been very, very helpful. It has not taken away the flavor. I can probably still sense that it's trying to come into me, but I have lost complete interest in it because this gets all my attention now. And it has been a journey, it really has. But I think it is a lot easier today than it was, 30 some years ago, maybe 40 years ago, because the energy has changed a lot. The consciousness is much more available. The density of the matrix is not as dense anymore. So there is more space for us to see life, not through the old lenses, but just through love, through the truth of who we are and what everybody is. But that lie, I really want to expose it again and again and again. Because when we really realize that, it's much easier to stay separate from it, to not let it take over your energy. It might still take a while because we're so conditioned and we're programmed, literally, and the whole brain is programmed to see through that lens that we're not good enough, there's something wrong with us, and blah, blah, blah. But at least when you start getting in touch with your true essence, your light, your beauty, your power, your sovereignty as a divine being, then this can finally start just melting away and dissolving in the light of your own being. So in a way, we do work with it, but I think most important is just to see it for what it is, so you can start pulling out your energy or your attachment and identification from it. And then instead, start placing it here on the light that you are. And the more you let that light shine, just by being it, we don't need to do anything to be the light. We are the light. It's just that we're looking through this lens or this skin, so we can't realize it. We believe we are these very painful, programmed, destructive beliefs. They're not true. The more we rest in and as our light, and that, of course, is the invitation, where you start feeling your longing back to the light, back to love. This is a real portal back home. And there's nothing we need to do there. We just need to abide there, hang out there, give our life to that, rest in it, lean back into it. And then there is nothing to do. The part that thinks it needs to do something is still, that's the lens, that's the peel, the skin. So we don't want to engage with that, because it will never go anywhere. It will just keep you in that hamster wheel that you need to do something in order to be yourself. And it's a practice for me daily, but I love that practice. In the beginning it was harder, and there might be times where the pull is really strong in my mind. But that doesn't really happen in the same way anymore. It's just it's just sweet to be here and learning to trust it more and more, that this is it. This is what will bring transformation, by just being who we are, by just sharing, spreading, oozing our light. And little by little, that peel just starts dropping off. And then, of course, you will be more of a light for other people. Oops, we have a little munchkin coming up here. You'll be more the light for others. Again, not by doing anything. This is a big piece for most of us. It certainly has been for me. I was such a doer, that actually the being is the doing. They're not separate. You don't go out and do. You be, and then doing just happens from being. And that's a very, very different experience. So think about that. Just think about that. The deepest core beliefs that we have, they're very painful, and we do a lot of work. We spend a lot of money on getting out of those beliefs. I have done it, of course, a lot of therapy and all these things, but it didn't really go away until, I don't know, I think I just got tired of it. No, I saw through it. I think it really helped me to see that this is actually a trick of the matrix. And then I just like, okay, then we're done. We're breaking up. No more. I don't want to have anything to do with you anymore. I just want to have to do with the true nature of who I am. If you need help with that, remember you can always reach out to me and set up a self-discovery session with me. It's just 30 minutes. We'll just kind of connect and see if I might be a good support for you if you want to do some of this deeper work with me. Maybe you have somebody else that you already trust and feel safe with. But I do encourage you to just really step out of that program, that lie, and start recognizing who you truly are. And when you have, oh, he's doing his pussyfooting on me. That hurts, his little claws. It's important that you can find somebody who can really recognize your light in you, who is aware that the light is what wants to be seen, and it has not been seen in this world, right? We always see each other's skin or the shell around us, the peel. That's what we see, and that's what we relate to. But then we stay in the matrix. So it's kind of coming out of that and have somebody see you, recognize your true essence, because then you can start recognizing it in yourself. And that is where the deepest transformation and healing will come from. All right. Thank you so much for being here with me today. It's always wonderful. I really do enjoy just sitting here in my chair with my kitty, and we just share whatever shows up that day that feels alive in me to share with others. And of course, if you like this, I'm always grateful if you like it and comment, subscribe, share. And you're also welcome to join me on my email list on my website, divinefeminineflow.com. I'll put the link there too. Thank you so much. Have a great day.